So it's another rainy day on the boat. We are just about to disconnect all of the 240 and 12 volts, and then we're going to be able to rip out these beams. Work's been a little bit slow at the moment, mainly due to the fact that a lot of the wiring is embedded into the wood, so I haven't been able to rip bits out that I've wanted to. And I couldn't do any of that until it's safely all disconnected. Pete's taking the afternoon off work so he can help me. It's just going down and doing meter checks, see whether the current's there or whatnot. And then we'll disconnect him, and then I can get all of these bad boys out of the way. It's been holding me back, it's been a little bit frustrating, and yeah, watch this space. Hopefully it'll be a little bit tidier, because I'm having to dodge all of this at the moment, but we've just not been able to disconnect it, so we'll see. Cool. So I know it probably looks like Spaghetti Junction, but we have disconnected the 12 volt from here all the way down the boat, stripped all the wiring, which I'm so happy about. It was fairly straightforward, and we had a good nice plan of how to do it together. So all of this wiring I'll clear up, and I'm trying to see whether I can take it to some recycling centre. Unfortunately, because the boat is full of rust, we have to take all of this central beading down, which means that's why we had to remove all of the electrics. We might as well get them redone. We've got a contact for a really good electrician who will be able to modernise all of the wiring for us. We've got some ideas of what we want to put in, where and what we want them. So it'll be 12 volt and 240 volt running off our solar panels. Which are absolutely fantastic. But yeah, the next step is to remove these wooden beams. We're going to run to B&Q. Pete's just gone to pick up a zip car, and we're going to get some helmets and safety equipment, just because they are really heavy pieces of wood and they're really strongly strapped in. They've been nailed and screwed into the actual beams of the boat. But lots of progress made. Once this bit's done, I can then start uninstalling these side panels. I'm going to remove this gas pipe and have a new one reinstalled, because we're going to move this where the kitchen was. The sink will most likely stay in a similar position. However, the cooker is going to be a little bit more central within the boat. We've made a lot of progress. I know it really looks messy at the moment. But this is kind of like the deconstruction stage. All of the wood that I take down, all of this, I'm going to chop it up, and I will be using it as firewood over the winter, as there's nothing wrong with it and I don't want to throw it out. If I can keep myself warm for free, then I most certainly shall. But yeah, I will get back to you in a little while when I have cleaned all of the wiring up and we've got all of the wood out. Okay, so more progress has been made. We've managed to get the middle beams off. Some of them were quite difficult, but we've got all of that wood down. We've got all the central paneling now. So this is absolutely what I was being desperate to get it like. It's been quite difficult to try and do it on my own, if I'm honest. I'm not tall enough, and it's a two-person job. We've had to get safety hard hats and just be quite careful with it. But we're there, we're absolutely there. This is the point where now I can start treating all of this top bit, and once I've treated all of the top rust, I'm going to be cutting off this bottom paneling. The reason why I'm not doing both first is because I'm going to have to do a couple of layers of the rust treatment, and whilst that's settling, I can then start dismantling other parts. It doesn't really matter because it's just a rust treatment and a primer as well. So I'll most likely just paint it a nice white colour before I panel over it. I'm going to be using spray foam as well. Currently looking at new windows for the boat. Might change the designs of them. We've got 9 windows in total, so it's going to be quite an expensive job to replace them all, but I don't think the windows are in the best of condition, if I'm honest, so I think that is the right thing for us to do. But yeah, I will come back a little bit later when we have more progress. Right, so this is my final update on what we've been doing up today. I've had a massive clean up and sorted all of this out. As you can see, we did manage to get all of the beams off and the insulation. which means I can now treat the rust. We've isolated all of the 240 volt and 12 volt. We've left a few things on at the back. It's all safely done. My husband's an engineer and knows what he's doing. But yeah, so we've made this big open space. This is what's going to be the bedroom, bathroom, ensuite. In the very far corner will be a toilet, the vanity, and a self-enclosed shower. And then moving back past this radiator, we're going to have a big double bed to one side with the hatches open and out onto it, so that in the summer, if we're hot or whatnot, we'll be able to open them up. I've managed to store all of the non-valuable tools in this area for now. That's things like screws and whatnot. I don't keep any valuables on the boat of an evening. I take it all with me, so there's no opportunity for anybody to come in and think that they can get some expensive equipment that's already all been stolen. But yeah, all of this rubbish, all of this wood, I have managed to get off the walls today and over the past few days. So I will get another rubbish removal. I'm contemplating using some of this wood actually as winter wood. I'm just going to chop it up and store it under the stairs, because there's plenty of space, and that fire is going to be moved to the little boat anyway. But under those stairs is some storage, so we can get quite a lot of wood under there. But yeah, this is my update on how fantastically far we've got on the boat up to now. Sorry, somebody just came up behind me.